That happened.
Okay, let's say we're streaming live.
All right. Woohoo. We are streaming. All right. Not sure if people can see me yet, so I'm going to wait a little bit.
Straighten your name out.
Oh, yeah, I do got to. Yeah, I do got to straighten it out. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hold on. Let me mute this. I am. Let's see. There we go. Give me 1 second, guys. Welcome. Welcome. We're still getting situated because this is a new show for us. And that will be church.com. That's who I am. Ignore what you saw. Okay. So before we get started, I'm going to do what anybody who's going live should do. Share their streams on their platform so that people can see and enjoy. And then it's just what I'm about to do. And give me a few seconds here, y'all. I gotta wait for things to load. Really excited for this today.
Is this going on LoOpy Land too? Live or straight to the
Oh yeah, this is going on LoOpy Land Talk Radio. This is something new that I'm doing. I'm really excited about it. And give me a few moments. Gotta get my picture on here. All right. And got the link. Is anybody watching yet? I don't think anybody is. I'm okay with that. All right. Sorry, y'all. Gotta share these things. It's just me running it, so I don't have no people I'm paying to run my background stuff. It's just me. So anyway, back to the subject at hand. Welcome to DeadLock U.S.A. United Explosions. That is our what do you call it? Slogan. This is the first podcast that I actually had a slogan for. And this one is United Explosions, because what better way to describe our country? Right? Okay, so to start things out, I got a video that I want you guys to see. And then we will go on from there. Just give me 1 moment. I got the video up right here. Make it full screen. Come back here, share my screen, pick that, unplug my headset, share, and press play.
Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interests. And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Too many levels. That's hilarious. Wow. To torment one of my favorite Sci-fi movies. Independence Day. Oh,
And it's one of my favorites as well. I found that hilarious because that was on his page. His people made that.
ooh.
Yes. It was posted back in May. I got it late, but I thought it was hilarious. And then moving on, we're going to have our quote of the day. And that's coming from Mr. Oh, I didn't introduce us. Dang it. I got all into it. Thought y'all knew us from our other show. Excuse me. I am that loopy chick. I blog and I write and I talk a lot. That's me. And then we have Adair to my left, or in your case, might be to my right. And Adair, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
What's going on, everybody? This is Adair Ruin, aka Adaro, the anointed disciple, always under righteous obedience. I'm a daddy, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a cousin, I'm an uncle, and I'm a father. I'm a photographer, videographer, songwriter, lyrics, not the music, not lyrics. And I like to just read about stuff and see what's happening in the world. There's a lot going on, especially right now. So we're gonna go right into the quote. Want me to do that? Go into that?
Yeah, go ahead, straight to the quote of the day.
All right. This is from my main man, Chris Rock. Shout out to Chris Rock. I know being a cop is hard. I know that shit's dangerous. I know it is, okay? But some jobs can't have bad apples. Some jobs, everybody got to be good, like pilots. You know, American Airlines can't be like, most of our pilots like to land. We just got a few bad apples that like to crash into mountains. Please bear with us. Thank you, Chris Rock. That's an awesome statement, man. And that's just where we are in the world today. Well, I can't say the world. I'm gonna say in the United States today. I don't know. I'm not gonna get onto a. I'm not gonna start out with a rant. I'm gonna follow what you want to do first. Where we going?
Okay. Excuse me. And the first direction, first thing we're going after this is to this is a segment I like to call trending shit in the US. So okay. Baby boy, mom set them all up. I don't know exactly what was the plan because we have about 2 or 3 stories right now. We ain't got nothing confirmed. But it looks like the plan was he was supposed to go down there with his gun and protest against the protesters. Mm-hmm. That's what it's coming out to look like. Somebody attacked baby boy and he said bet and he shot him. that is the story that I am hearing. Now, give me 1 second. So basically, this all started when a police officer shot another black man. Now, there has been so much today said about this black man. I'm gonna be honest, I have not done my research on it because nothing is confirmed until it's confirmed. And right now, we just have a lot of speculations, a lot of witnesses that have to sift through stuff. And I don't really want to say stuff that's not firm. But I do want to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. And Kyle Rittenhouse, this boy cracked me up. His pictures make me laugh, okay? Now, I am not in by any way praising him at all. I am not picking a side in this. But from what I hear and understand, he responded in self-defense. So, give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull something up for y'all. I promise I was prepared. Things just kind of like have to load a little bit. And so basically the story that we have right now is that the boy was actually filmed running or trying to run away from the attackers. And then they hit him with a skateboard and he ended up shooting people. That's what we have right now.
That's what the attorney say.
That's what the video says.
There's okay. I'm gonna have to look at that. I ain't seen that because now according to what the prosecutors put in their thing, they say the prosecutors did not allege that protesters were attacking him. So I'm gonna have to see this video. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna have to see the video. I haven't seen it, so I'm a little bit behind today. I haven't really watched much TV today.
Excuse me. So we have.
But I guess my question is always the simplest question. People protesting, walking down the street, and you're gonna protest against them protesting by showing up with a gun. I don't understand that logic. They don't have guns, so why are you showing up to protest against them with guns?
Actually, it kind of makes a little bit of sense due to what's been going on with the militias that have been popping up. So there haven't just been regular protests. There have been militia protests as well, where the black militia groups will show up with guns.
A lot of them, I heard about a couple of the ones in Georgia where they because that was in reaction to people showing up with guns against the protesters.
No, public service announcement to my people, by the way. And they got to be my people because that's how the world sees us. So public announcement to my people. I'm going to need y'all to learn gun control. I'm going to need y'all to learn how to shoot. I'm going to need y'all to learn how to not to shoot each other by accident. I'm going to need y'all to learn how to point your gun down because a 17-year-old boy show more gun control than videos I saw of the black militia. And that's ridiculous. So you can't tell me there was no veterans in that group. We got a lot of military people. You go to your favorite military family member and you ask them what you're supposed to be doing with your gun. It's not that hard. That has been a public service announcement from that LoOpy chick, or as some people call me.
I'm gonna need you to send me some links so I can see what you're talking about because I heard about it, but I didn't see footage. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. They pointed up, pointing it sideways at each other like dummies.
Yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to have it pointed at anybody. That's the whole point about the crazy people that spoke at the RNC because they pointed it at people who were walking by. But we're not on that yet.
Okay, so I see what happened. They said first an unknown gunman fires the first shot in the air. It wasn't him. And then they started chasing Rittenhouse. So somebody shot, but it wasn't him. But they started chasing him.
And then he just turned and shot at him?
Yeah.
So I don't
He running.
Run and keep running. You don't know who shot, so why are you shooting at people that's chasing you?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So he had a total of 3 shots that he shot people with.
Right. He killed 2 people and injured a third.
Yes. I just watched this video and he didn't shoot until he was getting checked. I'll show it. He didn't start shooting until they caught up to him. Then he let the fire go. Let's see.
Is there a second one? Because that was Very
You didn't
blurry.
see that he was being chased and then he turned around and
I
started
saw
shooting?
he was being chased, but it looked like he was being chased from within the crowd. That's what it looked like. I couldn't really tell
Okay,
much.
I play it again because it's if you see the people with the objects in their hands chasing him, that's him. And then there are people chasing him with stuff, like they got stuff in their hand.
But again, my question is, it looks what it appears like. This is just as what I'm seeing. What it appears like is he was interacting with the crowd in the mix, and then he starts running. So my question is always the same. If you want to protect property, stand at the property and stay there. But if you go
it doesn't
into
look
the crowd,
like he was in the crowd of anything. There wasn't even a crowd.
I'm saying
he was outside the crowd.
I'm saying what you just showed me. It looks like he's coming from where these.
Okay,
these
so
people
this
are
is
at.
so they're over here on this side. He's coming from the total opposite direction.
Wait. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
Those are the people
street
chasing him. That's not the crowd. That's not the rest of the protesters. That's 5 people chasing him.
But listen to what I'm saying. Right here, I don't see him. Okay, I don't see him at all.
He's right there. He was right there in there with them.
That's my point. That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, it's 5 people right there, and he's running through them. And how do we know that he wasn't trying to protect where he was and they came to him?
But that's what
these are rioters. These are not, first of all, let me correct myself. These are rioters. These are not the people that are chasing him. These are not protesters. These are rioters. There's a difference.
I understand that, but here's the deal. If you are protecting a business that you have a vested interest in, for instance, it belongs to your family, right? Then you have a right to defend it. The problem is when you leave, you ran, you left that grounds and you went somewhere else. Now you're not defending property, but now you're saying it's a self-defense issue. The problem is we don't know what occurred prior to seeing him running. We don't know. Even and I'm not taking up for the rioters, as you say. I'm
saying as long as he wasn't trying to shoot people, if he didn't shoot, if he's shooting people, he's not running. He's shooting you. He didn't start shooting until he got backed in the corner and he had no other option. If he's shooting people, they're not running at him or running to chase him. The logic says that if I want to shoot you and I'm going out with my shots, I'm going out with my shots. If you notice, he got to this point where they were really on his tail and trying to get at him, that he was like, okay, I'm backed into a corner. This is what I get. This, because to me, it's not logical that if I'm gonna shoot you anyway to run.
It actually is. If you thought I could stir up some stuff and run away, but I couldn't run long enough to get away, so now I'm gonna shoot you.
That don't even make sense, Adair.
It does.
That doesn't even make sense.
It does, because if you were at a location defending a location, there is no reason for you to run. This is what I'm saying. This is where the logic breaks down.
They say he was trying to defend locations. He was not trying to defend one location. This dude was going to multiple, he was at multiple places trying to make sure that they didn't get rioted. But that's his story.
But that's his story. You can't do that.
It's a problem with people destroying stuff. That's a problem.
But what I'm saying is you can't say one person with a sidearm with a weapon is responsible for the whole block. It doesn't work.
But that's what he was trying to attempt to do. And you can't say it's okay for people to burn down what people have worked hard for.
I never said that. I don't know if anybody burned down anything in this incident. I don't know that. This was a riot night. So to me personally, if it's not protesting and it's a riot and you choose to do something like that,
you don't know what your consequence is going to be for being destructive. Their consequence was they got shot. Was it right? No. Was it wrong? Yes, but all of it's wrong.
All of it is wrong. I'm not disputing that. But I still say, if you are supposed to be defending a property, then you have the right to be at that property location and to defend that location. You cannot defend a block by yourself. That's the problem. That's what makes you.
And to you, that's logical. And to me, that's logical too. It doesn't make sense to attempt to defend it by yourself. But I'm thinking what he felt all he needed to do was stand there with guns and people would just back away. If they ain't got a weapon and I got a weapon and I got the upper hand, then you're gonna back away. And you're not gonna be around here.
But again, the problem is if he got hit with a skateboard. If he got hit with a skateboard, I don't know. I can't see that.
I saw a picture where he was
I'm
hit.
saying I can't see that.
He was definitely hit with a skateboard.
He might have been hit with something. We don't know what the man was hit with. We know what he may have said. We don't. That's not on. Show me where he got hit with the skateboard.
Well, first of all, they just hit him with a glass bottle over his head.
I mean, what I'm saying is, from what I can see, and it could be an issue with it coming through. It's not clear enough for me to know really tell what's going on. I'm seeing still shots. I'm not seeing full video.
So it sounds like you are taking the rioter's side because
I'm not taking the rioter's side.
You're saying that's what he said. That's what he said. But when it comes to what other people are
I don't know what the rioters
saying.
said.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
I don't know what the rioters said. That's what I'm saying. I told you I haven't seen the news today to know who said what, other than I just looked at the little news article that said that this is what the attorneys allege and what the prosecutors allege. That's all I got. But
this basically says
I saw the person shoot up in the air.
And then another clip from a single angle, one man chasing Rittenhouse appears to lunge at 17-year-old before the suspect fires at least 4 times.
Right. So again, it even says it's unclear.
They don't know why he was being chased. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
honestly, if I was a prosecutor and I saw a video of a dude being chased and he stopped to shoot people, I wouldn't prosecute.
That goes back to that's like the whole Trayvon Martin thing. There's no video, but Trayvon was walking home, and this dude was told by that's
nowhere near like Trayvon Martin.
It is.
No, this dude was told by he called the police. Mm-hmm. He was told by the dispatcher that you were not an officer, leave that boy alone. There was no police interaction in this that told him to stop. There was no one that says, hey, you can't walk down the street with a gun.
No, that's not what
there was no incidents.
That's not what
he didn't chase nobody down.
You didn't let me finish what I was going to say. What I'm saying, what I was going to say is, yes, in the Trayvon Martin case, you have a dispatcher who technically is not an officer, but the dispatcher said, don't leave a man alone. We got an officer on the way. But because this guy decided I'm going to go and interact with this person and I'm going to threaten him, because that's based on what I know of that whole situation, there was no reason for Trayvon to even get into a fisticuffs match with this man unless he felt threatened. It could have been, man, go about your business. I'm going home. Ain't none of your business what I'm doing. I'm out. But if you felt the desire to assert your authority on me, now I'm going to resist you because I don't know you from Adam. Okay. Now, in this case, this young man who was supposed to be protecting a specific area is way away from where he's supposed to be. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the rioters are not wrong in chasing a young man. Because my thing is you're standing there with a gun. So what? I'm walking down the street if I'm a protester. But if I'm a rioter and I'm looking for somebody to attack and you got a gun, then the rider is gonna they're gonna target you. So,
Okay, so
but I'm not defending them. What I'm saying is you're adding a provocation that doesn't need to be there.
I don't draw the same correlation as you, because you're saying he's out of the area that he's supposed to be in. So
I'm looking at what you just said.
I'll address that in a second. That does not draw a correlation to the Trayvon Martin. I'm not sure how much you know about the Trayvon Martin incident. He didn't just try to talk to the boy and stop the boy. He chased the boy. He chased Trayvon Martin down in stairs and shot him. They were chasing him, and so he shot them. Okay, so my point is, where was he supposed to be? If he was coming to defend the area from rioters, where was he supposed to be? If that was in his mind, you're supposed
to defend the business that you can't defend the area. You can only
logically speaking, no, you cannot defend the area. But that was what he was doing. No, so he, in his mind, he was supposed to be everywhere because he was defending everywhere.
That's not how it works.
Okay.
You are not an officer of the law, so your ability to defend something is a specific place. You can't, every place is not.
There was no place over there that he owned whatsoever.
And there was no reason for him to be there, which is why he got get charged with
murder. And there was no reason for them to be there.
And
there was no reason for the rioters to be there. I'm not defending
them for destroying property and
attempting to destroy. But the way you're talking about it, you sound like you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I already said I'm not saying that what they were doing is correct. What I'm saying is he's just as wrong as they are. They're both wrong, yes. But what they did not necessarily. It ended up with them being dead.
Yeah, but, if I was a prosecutor,
they were harming property. They were harming property. The issue is always this. When you have a business, a building, yes, you have insurance, because if you're not going to take yourself down there to the property that you own and you operate and defend it, then you rely on your insurance. You don't want to have to do that, but what's the point in going down there and shooting somebody and then having to go through all this stuff with the court when you could just say, hey, maybe they won't even mess with my business. I'm going to just board it up and go and wait it out. But when you randomly show up with a gun and you don't own anything, you're not connected to anything, and something goes off, then you run the risk of being charged with murder. Even if an interaction led to you feeling that your life was in danger, but if you initiated that action, and again, I don't know. You say they
so when the black militia marches and protests with their gun, they're saying, come shoot me. They're telling other people to come shoot them.
What?
When they walk around with their guns. Because basically, I'm all the way down to the basics. You're saying if you go somewhere that's not your property with a gun, expect to be attacked.
I'm saying if you're going there and you are taking a specific posture, because I'm gonna tell you, in Texas, we've had white Caucasian gun owners and NRAs and whatever, these groups that show up in neighborhoods that they don't live in, and they walk down the streets with guns. Now, if somebody had felt that they was threatened and fired upon them, then we would be in court about that. But what happened is the people in the community said, hey, we don't need y'all here. Go on about your business. So the issue is, if you're not invited to be there, for instance, if he had a legal reason to be at a specific location, for instance, he knew the owner who asked him, hey, I'm gonna be there. I need you to be here to help me in case something go down, then you good. But you just randomly running around with a gun and pointing at people who you already know.
Wait, how do we know he was just randomly walking around pointing a gun at people?
My bad. I overstepped on it. But what I'm saying is, if you are out, because my issue is, if you don't point the gun, then I don't really understand. I don't know why anybody would necessarily chase you. But again, I don't know. We don't know.
All pictures I had seen of him was him holding his gun down to the ground and using it as he should. To the place where
those are still pictures, right?
They are still pictures.
So again, yes, we know that he has gone through some sort of training with a weapon. Okay, but in the midst of the rioting, we don't know what occurred.
I'm gonna state this. If that's your opinion about a person walking around with a gun, then that opinion goes to everyone. Everyone who is in a place they don't own, that they're not supposed to be in, that walks in with a gun.
No. There's a difference between you having a right to carry, and there's a difference in potentially flourishing. Because again, you're operating, it sounds to me like you're operating from the premise that he didn't do anything to lead up to it because
I'm not saying that. He could definitely have said something to instigate.
And that's what I'm saying.
But so does the black militia. They have microphones where they're challenging you and walking down the street with guns.
Because
and
what they're
nobody
saying
has
is,
yet to walk up to them and hit them.
Because what they're saying is, if it's okay for groups of armed white people to go various places like this, then there should be no problem with us doing the same thing.
You told me personally that you have not watched the videos with the black militia.
I haven't.
Okay, so let me tell you what they're saying in the videos. They're saying, we are here. We here for battle. We ready. Step up. Come to us. That is what they're saying. These are the words that they're like the
but
tone,
is this in response
the phrasing. No, this is instigation. And and I'm not against the black militia. I'm not against any. Huh? Okay,
where?
Give me a second. There's a few videos. So give us a second, y'all. I have to pull up some black militia videos so that we can see what they said. Black militia video threats.
And while you looked it up, my question is was their actions a reaction to something else that had occurred? Is my question.
Other than the regular protest that we're doing, not really. They were basically challenging white supremacists to come out for an all-out war.
Okay, but again, that is a response. You may disagree with it, and I'm saying I wouldn't necessarily run out there and ask somebody that I know that have showed up to various places and instigated violence. I would not do that. But what I'm saying is in a response to something else that has occurred, they felt the need to do that. And the one or two things that I have seen was, I remember there was something in Georgia that there was some issues about them showing up there, but that was a response to another protest to where white guys showed up with guns and yanked the sign out of a girl's hand. And I mean, if a bunch of people showed up and surrounded me and I'm peacefully protesting with weapons, I'm gonna feel some kind of way. So that was a response to that, because it's just like when the militia showed up to, I think it was Michigan, and they went to the state capitol, to the capitol where the government people worked at, and you're not legally, you're not supposed to be able to do that, and nothing occurred. So a lot of the things are in response. We may not know all of the details, but some of these things are in response to previous actions that have occurred. That's all I'm saying.
And in response to rioting, he felt the need to do what he did. It's the same. It's the same thing.
It's not the same.
It is the same. In response to people rioting and destroying businesses, just like they felt the need that because somebody took the sign out of that girl's hand and put guns, they set a date. They set a whole freaking date where they marched in Georgia because of that. Mm-hmm. Because protesters were protesting them and they felt threatened. So in response to people rioting and threatening business owners, he felt the need to do that.
But here's the problem.
Why is it not the same thing?
It's not the same.
Okay.
It's not the same because as a group who has a designated day that you have to alert the authorities about when you're going to show up, they did what they were supposed to do. Now, they may not have handled the firearms in an appropriate manner, but they alerted people, the appropriate authorities, hey, we're going to do this because this is what happened and we're going to show up.
From what I understand, the police knew he was going to be there, and they let him in. Like he had to walk through the police to get in there.
But did they deputize him?
Mm-hmm. They knew he was going to be there. He had permission to be there.
By who?
By the police.
Did he have permission, or did he walk by with a gun, have a license to carry, and they were like, okay.
He's 17. Legally, he wasn't supposed to be out. Technically, I didn't want to touch this because this takes you way off the reservation. He's 17. Technically, in the state that he was in, legally, he's not able to walk around with a weapon. Technically.
Again, I'm through with this one. It's too much going on. So okay, so we ain't gonna charge him with murder. We're gonna charge his parents because they allowed him to go out and
his mom literally drove him there. His mom drove him there. So gave him the gun, gave him the ammunition.
And that's, come on, as a parent, listen. Believe me, I get it and I understand it, but I also understand that my right to defend only extends within a certain area. It really does, because outside of my home or outside of my business place, it becomes well, we don't know really what happened if there's no video footage. It becomes too much of a hassle to be able to feel like I would have a fair say in court. So for me, hey, unless I know you and that's your business and you say, hey, I'm going down there because I don't want them to touch my business, then I know this is what I'm protecting. I'm not running through the neighborhood. I got this place to protect. That's it. Because that's logical. That makes sense. I can take that to court and say, hey, this was my friend. Because of the rioting, he asked me to be there with him. It's his property. We were defending his property. Once I leave them grounds, if I shoot somebody, it becomes a dirty.
You're repeating yourself. So you said you were done with it, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right, let's move on. Because you're done with it. I know you're done with it. I know when people are done because that's when they start repeating themselves. So let's move on to George W. Bush.
I ain't seen it.
Now,
I seen that his cabinet, not his cabinet, but some of his staff and
it's
stuff.
Administration.
Right. That's not him. That's not him. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is he is Obama's cousin. So
I mean, technically, I think we could say that Trump has some connection to Obama. I mean, they've said the majority of the presidents are connected in some form.
Yes, or fashion. All of the presidents are connected family-wise except Trump.
Except Trump. Okay.
Literally, I'm not kidding. I've looked this up. All of them are connected bloodline-wise except Trump. Yeah, that's why they all laugh and talk together and leave him out.
I mean, but here's the thing.
He be in the rain crying.
But here's the thing. What? I have not seen George Bush come out and say, I'm supporting Biden. So just because people...
I mean, if Obama's administration says something, like the administration are pretty much your whole... that's the team. That's administration is like... for a celebrity, it would be like their PR team. For politicians, it's administration.
Now, yeah, but I don't put much weight. Not that what they're doing carries no weight. But I would still say until George jump up there and say, "I'm putting my support behind Biden," it doesn't mean the same. It's some people.
George W. is in Texas, sitting in a seat, drinking whiskey out of a glass.
Exactly.
He ain't worried about none of us.
I'm a Republican. I'm going to let my party do what they do. I'm going to just chill.
I did what I was supposed to do. Daddy said run, I ran, now I'm here.
Yeah, so I mean, now don't get me wrong. Now, if he pop out shortly before the election and say, normally I I would go with my party, but I've been watching this guy. I can't do it. Then I'm like, whoa, that's saying something. But I'm not making the assumption that he's doing it because they were a part of your administration. They aren't your administration anymore. They're doing whatever their careers have them doing now. They are former people in your administration. So they can get together and do whatever they want. So it's not the same. And that's why I think they haven't, why that's been I think I saw something from Tucker or somebody, about this, but I'm just kind of like, until I see George say it, till he dropped the mic on it, I ain't hearing that. I ain't believing it. Because they don't report to him no more. I mean, like we say, Biden's running. He doesn't report to President Obama anymore. They good friends. But he doing his thing. It's going to be his administration. It's not going to be the Obama administration. So it should he win.
I accept that. Shout out to the people that are watching but not watching. Those are the people that watch after we go live. If you don't know much about me, I'm going to show you. Get in the middle again. This, if you're any kind of nerd or blurred, you know what this is. You ain't even got to see it for real to know that this is a Slytherin cup. Now, if you know who Slytherin is and you know what Hogwarts is, and Hogwarts, however you say that shit, that and Harry Potter and the whole wizard world, you know that the fact that I got a cup with a snake on it would explain a lot of what, like, my personality. Honestly, the perfect pairing to Slytherin is Ravenclaw. But also, I'd like to take a moment to let y'all know what I'm sipping on. Just sipping, just for flavoring and all that. I am sipping on, let's get in the middle. Kraken, turn it. Oh. And this Kraken is the black spice rum. Now, I'm not like big and haughty enough to get sponsors or nothing, but I'm just letting y'all know I am drinking the Kraken black spice rum, 94 proof, and it is delicious.
Ooh. It's rum? You say it's rum?
It's rum. It's good. They got black roasted, and it tastes like coffee.
Yeah, if I'm drinking rum, I don't want it to taste like coffee. But that's just
me. I don't like coffee in general, but like people love it. But I like the spice rum. I'm not drinking too much, just a little bit.
Look, side note, we got some I think we did a little cruise a few years back, and we went to Jamaica, and we got some rum straight from Jamaica. And man, that was some. I can't wait for another cruise when the world open back up and it's safe. I want to do that again. That was a lot of fun. It was some good rum. We bought like 2 bottles. It was good.
Y'all fancy? Was it spice rum, white rum?
I want to say, if I remember correctly, because I didn't know. I'm not a huge drinker, so I think it was their vanilla rum. It was smooth, and we would cut it with a little bit of Coca-Cola, or me, I like Dr. Pepper. From time, I like to switch it up sometimes. And it was.
You said, was it brown? Was it brown?
No, it was like,
white. It was, so that makes sense because you said vanilla.
Yeah, it was like a yellowish tint to it, but man, that was good. It was some good stuff.
I would have mixed some coconut drink with it.
Yeah. But I'm a lightweight, so after I get about 1 or 2 in, I'm good. I'm like, nah, I'm straight. Nah, I don't need no more. I don't need no more. So,
Well, moving on. Let's see what we got here. I got a list, y'all. I got to go back to my list. Okay, so I'm about to get real mean, and it's not personal. Know that it's coming from a place of what I feel like. Okay, give me a second. Sometimes I feel like when I talk and then I listen to myself, I sound like a redneck inside of a Black person. Like, I really do. I don't know if that's insulting to people that are white. So if I did insult you by saying redneck, I apologize. I have friends, and that's what we say, and they are of the Caucasian persuasion, and they're fine with it where I am. But if that offends anyone, I apologize. So, moving on. This next topic is called rights versus privilege.
Okay.
Now, logically speaking, from what I understand, Adair, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I love to be corrected. That way my logic can make more sense. Our country is based off of do for yourself. A lot of the things that a lot of things set up in our country are based off of work hard and then it'll pay off, and build yourself up individually or your corporation. So I like to say we're a corporate run country. We are a corporate country. The whole basis of our country is fit, to me personally, from what I've read and understand, is fend for yourself. Excuse me, unless you're extremely disabled or something along those lines. A child basically says, as a bodily able adult, you're supposed to do for you. Even unemployment, like, you pay into that, and then when you are out of work, like, there's steps and processes that you take to there's a process and steps that you take to get back into work, and then the money you receive is just probably money that you put in already. So I am not saying that humans should not have health care, and I am not saying that humans should not have food. I am saying this is the United States of America. We're not nice. We are not nice. We are not a nice country. We've never been nice. None of the stuff we do is nice. We bully other countries to benefit us to have nice lifestyles. And if you don't recognize and accept that, then you're stupid. It's the United States of America. Like, I don't understand why people expect to have free healthcare. I'm not sure why people expect to just be given money. First of all, where is it coming from? Okay, so I'm not saying that it's wrong to have free healthcare. I'm saying that if you want certain things, then maybe you should research other countries. Not right now, because they're not going to let you in. But maybe you should research other countries and see what country fits you best and go there. So the whole thing about this country was, in exchange for our illusion of freedom, or somewhat freedom that we have, which is more freedom than a lot of other countries. Like, we do have a lot of things that we could do that they cannot. So what's in exchange for that, we're supposed to depend on ourselves and our family and our own income to support us. That's the exchange. Now, the way the country has progressed is set up to keep you in debt. We're not going to go there today. We're not going to go there. But we will go. I don't understand why people are fighting for free healthcare, because there are so many people in this country that don't want to pay for other people's healthcare. So why would you not just like research Canada and start the process of becoming a citizen in Canada? Like Canada, you get free healthcare. Canada, they accept a lot of Americans before the pandemic. They did accepted a lot of Americans, especially us millennials who are really the ones pushing for it, who work in IT. That's us. All you have to do is work in IT for a year, and they'll give you a work visa that'll be able to work its way to becoming permanent to get a citizenship there. And then you know what you do if you don't want to be an American citizen anymore and pay taxes? You do what Tina Turner did. She gave away her citizenship. To me personally, trying to force a country to be the way that you want it to be when there are other countries doing what you prefer, I don't understand or comprehend that.
Okay, so you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Work hard and it'll pay off. Basically, you saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
No, I'm not telling anybody to do that. I'm basically questioning people trying to push something into a country that doesn't want it.
But I mean, I hate to go here, but this country didn't want blacks to be considered people. Mm-hmm. They didn't want women to vote. That's the beauty of this country. Even with all our drama between Democrats, Republicans, liberals, and independents, all that, the beauty of it is you can change it.
But the difference is nobody in the world wants blacks. Nobody. Maybe Canada, but that's it. I'm not kidding. If you do your research, I have. Nobody wants black people there.
That's not
even Africans want us. The only Africans that really welcome us are the people trying to make money off of us. And I'm trying to remember the name, was Ghana. Like that's one of the few places in the continent of Africa that welcomes black people, because African people and black people are two separate things. White people are more welcome than. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
See, you know what I want to tell you. I'm saying. All I'm saying is that this country allows you to amend its constitution and to create laws and things. If you feel that there is an issue, then you start a push, you galvanize your people together, you organize, and you try to get your what it is that you want to happen. I mean, like you said, in other countries, it doesn't work quite the same. So we have that as an option in this country. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, but eventually something can change. Now, my issue with the whole, I don't know. I guess for me, I think the healthcare issue makes sense. I also think that the educational side would make sense. If you in school and you making the grade and you want to continue, I don't know why you have to go into super debt, but that's here. That's our country. That's the way our country does it. So it is what it is. But I think that there should be it's just crazy to me. Like our whole issue is all about the dollar. It's all about the capitalist dollar, the dollar. Everything, every moment has to be filled with you doing something to get the dollar. And the problem with that is that's why you have a recession and things like these happen, because just as a basic thing, how do you have a piece of property that continues to increase in value and you don't actually have to do anything but maintain it, but it just appreciates in value unlimited until the bubble bursts? That makes no sense, but that's how. That's one of the things that happens in this country. So if you have a way to try to fix something or change something, and you get enough people with you, you can change it. So that's all. I mean, that's all I got to say on that side. As far as the unemployment, one of the problems is when unemployment and Social
My
Security
point was
first kicked in,
that
huh?
as brown people, we don't have any places to go where we're accepted. Brown people from America. As black people, we are people that are black is on ethnicity. Being a black person from America, can you hear me?
Yeah, but your video is frozen. It's froze
Okay.
for a second.
Is it back yet?
Yeah, now it's back.
Okay. All right. Being a black person from America, people hate us. Like people hate us when they hate white people, pale people, Caucasians, European Americans. People are not accepted in many places. And Canada is almost just as racist because they pretend that they're not. So, and that's supposed to be the one place that we might be able to go. So, in response to that, you saying people didn't want black people to have stuff or either, and so but we have to fight. They gave it to us a little time, just enough to get by, and there's no place else for us to go. When you talk about other ethnicities, they got places to go.
Okay, I was stating that to prove the point about making a change in the country.
I know, but that point is moot because we don't have nowhere to go.
That's I don't I
Nobody wanted us to be in
I
the
would
place.
disagree. I would disagree with you only.
Okay,
only
what country would accept black Americans?
Hold on. Because I don't know everybody's immigration policy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I have observed other black folks. I've seen some of their people, black folks in Japan, black folks in. It was a sister. I saw her. She was in. I don't remember if it was Turks and Caicos or something like that. And yes, we all know that because of colonization and because the Caucasian, the Europeans set up majority of everything, that there's an issue with us, with black folks. I get that. I'm not disputing that. But but the people that I've seen, there are some who said that yes, I know I've noticed this and this here, but it's not as bad as in America. So there are places, if you want to leave and try something different, you can. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know.
They're not as blatant as and direct as Americans are. I'd rather it be in my face, honestly.
But it's not always direct, though. Even in America, it's not always direct. So, but
I had a cop point blank tell my mama the reason why we keep pulling you over is because you black and this is the type of car you have.
Yeah, but that's not.
I like that. That's direct. Thank you for being direct with me.
I'm not saying you haven't had that experience. I'm just saying that it's not always that direct. I mean, if I forget the guy's name, there was a guy who got pulled over like 45 times.
Oh, okay. I mean, so I have a question.
Yeah.
If we start the chain reaction of paying for each other's health care, what's next? Where's my money going next? Next, my money is going to be going to people who choose not to work. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. Like,
but here's the thing.
I gotta work hard to have health care. I got a job and my job provides health care. I like that. It works for me.
That's true. But in any capitalist society, that's going to be an issue. So, but here's the thing: whether you knowingly know that my tax dollars are going to a general health fund so that anybody who gets sick is taken care of, or the taxes get raised some other way, with you not knowing, because anytime somebody show up, yeah, there's a bill, but if they ain't got no money, who gonna pay for it? They got to get the money from somewhere. So at some point, it still hits you.
I don't know. I just
so I mean,
but what do you think to be the next thing that they have us pay for other people outside of healthcare? Next,
I mean, I think
we
it
gonna be paying for college. Like
probably education.
this college is in your area, so you pay the college fee even though you have no kids and you're not going.
Yeah, I mean a percentage of. I mean, but here's the thing: if without trying something different, what happens is you have, and I mean you're going to have this wherever you are in your society, and you're not doing something like that. You're going to have a pipeline to prison or a pipeline to free thinkers who can create something to also employ other people. So if you have people whose education stops at this point and they don't have access to something different, some people will go to the library and research things on their own. And some people will be like, I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna steal your shit. And that's and you feed into that perpetual pipeline by not giving some additional options. So I don't know how they I mean, I look at the fact that you have colleges that are trash, that have been determined by the courts to be trash, but you still want to make the people pay that college back, even though the courts have said they don't have to, because it's trash.
I don't want to pay for the trash college.
But what I'm saying is they're trying to still force people. Even for, I'm gonna give you a great example because this is one of the things that amazed me when I moved to Houston, because I was not familiar with this. But when I was doing background checks, one of the things that amazed me was, like, I understand homeschooling. What I don't understand is random alternative education. When I say random, I mean me and you get together, we get a storefront, and people pay me $350, and I make them a diploma and say they graduated from here. That's the craziest thing. I'm like, that doesn't even make, like I can talk to the person today. They say, well, I went to this high school. I graduated in 2000. I contact that school. That school says, nope, they stopped in 1999. Well, no, they did half the year and then they just dropped out. So then you say, hey, you call them back, say, hey, school says you didn't complete. Oh, well, that's because I went to Bill and Bob's school. And okay, when did you go there? Oh, I just went there yesterday. Huh? You graduated yesterday? Yeah, let me send you a copy of it. And they send you a Word document diploma. A Word, not a picture of a diploma, but an actual Word document that you can edit, that was just issued yesterday. And that is acceptable because me and you got together and created an alternative education school, and we belong to the random board of education that has nothing to do with the local independent schools district, the citywide school, none of them. It's just we random. So for me, that's a crazy thing, because being from St. Louis, I had never observed that before. So that was a trip for me.
So I heard everything you said and I listened to you, and that is extremely weird. Because I went through a lot to graduate, so that was weird. Community service and all of that. But breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Chadwick Boseman is dead.
What? Come on. Where did this come from? Where did this come from?
He been looking sick. I thought he was doing it for a role. When I googled it, it popped up on all the
colon cancer. Oh man, that's messed up. Wow. I did see it was something he was supposed to be participating in recently that I remember seeing an advert for. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was like an award show or something like that. So I don't know. Wow, that's crazy.
So they about to make the sister the Black Panther.
I think that was gonna happen anyway, because
I
that's
didn't
part of
want it
it.
to.
Yeah, but that's part of the Black Panther lore, though. The confusion I would have in is, other than her technology and knowledge ability, how does she get the rapid healing and all of that special herb gave, those abilities that were given by that special herb. I know they can say, well, they saved a sample somehow. But
I mean, they're gonna do all that. They need to bring Iron Man back, okay?
no, we
Yeah,
need a new
he
Iron
shouldn't have
Man.
never died. You know who should have died? Do you know who should have died?
Who?
Captain America, non-loyal, but that's who should have died.
Well, Captain America always fought the good fight, and he always tried to follow his conscience.
He literally did not fight the good fight in Civil War. He
Well,
did the opposite.
Well, but you got to think of it this way. Just because I don't agree with you,
He started the fight. He started the fight.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But again, if you feel you right and I feel I'm right, we're gonna be fighting.
Tony had tomorrow vision. Steve Rogers had today vision.
Yes.
Tony said, okay, we gotta play like we planned, but work on what we doing underground so that when we get the opportunity, we can flip it. That's what Tony was doing. Yes. Steve Rogers was like, no, right. I want to show them my cards now. Yeah, I don't want to be so strategic at all. Roar, roar.
Right, but that's because that was his character. He was
stupid.
He's no. No, he was able to stand his own ground on what he believed, because he always said, and we saw that in Ultron and some other stuff, he said, whenever people try to do something preemptive, it always ends up bad. And so that's why he was like, we can't do that. We need to follow their rules, grow with them, and do what they want us to do, because we don't want to just like.
That's not what Steve Rogers was trying to do. That's literally the opposite. He was trying to do the opposite. He's the only one who didn't sign the papers, and he wanted to do the opposite of following their rules.
Oh, okay. I'm
It was Tony who said, let's play along until we have an opportunity to show them.
You're right. I remembered it correctly. I had to think about that for a minute. Yeah, you're right.
So and so let me put this in Harry Potter terms.
Oh no.
Tony is like Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Steve Rogers is point blank Gryffindor, brave but dumb.
I mean, but when it all came out in the wash, he was on the right side. He got it right. He was misdirected for a minute.
He didn't have a choice.
Oh, you have a choice. You can stay stupid. You can stay stupid, or you can go.
But when they all end up having the same enemy, no, not really. The only reason why Steve came back is because they had the same enemy.
Yes. I don't know.
He literally beat Tony down with his ex-best friend that was supposed to be dead because Tony was mad that his ex-best friend killed his mom.
Yes.
Not even his dad. He was upset that he killed his mom, which Steve should have told him before then. Now we on a tangent, and it's not pertaining to the show. But all I'm saying is Captain America is trash. He always gonna be trash, and that's just how it is.
You funny. Okay, moving on. But I don't think they need to bring Tony back. And this is why.
Mhm.
Because you can't progress the Avengers if you don't change out the characters, because they all change out over time. So you need new blood. What else is Tony gonna come up with?
Somebody got to slap Spider-Man.
And I don't know who it would be. I'm not
Tony. I will come back to life just to slap that little boy.
Well,
then again, I wouldn't have given a 17-year-old all my work.
I mean,
15, 16-year-old.
You gave the boy. I mean, obviously you saw something in the young man, but I don't know. But I mean, I think there's a need to bring new blood, new characters, new versions of the characters. Ironheart, Rescue, all of these characters that we need, because otherwise there's no diversity.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved to see.
Why couldn't they kill Hawkeye?
Yeah, I don't know. But his character gets that role is supposed to switch to his daughter.
Well, his character is definitely disposable to me. So.
Yeah. I mean, why? Because he ain't got no powers other than great eyesight and accuracy.
No, he's a disposable character. I had no real investment in him.
Okay. I mean, what was the real investment in the Black Widow?
I had no investment in her either. I don't regret her dying.
I
think it's stupid to come out with a movie now about her.
What's the investment in the Hulk? Hulk smash.
He's a core member.
He's what?
He's a core member. He's Hulk. He's Hulk that can stay in Hulk and do people things. But that is the investment in the Hulk.
He can't, because his pinky finger is like a fist.
He broke the taco. He dropped the taco.
I mean, I don't know. I think, I mean, there are more characters to explore. For me, I would like to see, some variation.
I don't know. I grew up with Iron Man, so like, that was a 10-year journey.
Yeah.
And so that started when I was about 13. So, and Iron Man is my favorite out of all of them because he's the only one that doesn't have some sort of self-righteous thing about him.
But he always thinks he's right.
He's a narcissist, but he's not self-righteous.
Okay. I can't really argue with that. I don't have an argument against that right now. So I'll have to think about that in order to
he's a rich kid that grew up rich and stayed rich, and he's extremely smart with stuff. And he gets laid. He's gonna be a narcissist. It's just it's not.
And he gets laid. Okay.
I mean, yeah, that contributes to a lot of men's egos that they can get laid at the drop of a hat.
Okay.
Anyway,
about that one.
I think we actually covered everything. I'm not going to talk about generational racism today because I'd rather have Ryan here for that. I'd like to have some European Americans and some brown Americans go back and forth on that because there is generational racism on both sides. Oh, excuse me.
Well, I'll wait and see what happens with that. But you're gonna bring that back once Ryan is back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I would love to hear what he has to say about it. I mean, my issue is, well, I'm gonna wait.
Ryan's story is really interesting. His story is really interesting, especially since he's a Marine. So, I like hearing military people talk.
Yeah,
because they've experienced some stuff.
Let me tell you this one thing. I was talking to this lady today, and she was saying that because we were talking about voting, issue about voting, and I'm gonna say this to everybody out there. I don't care which side you on. Exercise your right to vote. Go do it. Don't say it don't count. Go vote. Whichever ticket you want to vote for, do that. Because this lady was saying her grandfather was a World War II veteran who I think she said he died 7 years before blacks were given the right to vote. Okay. And then her dad had gone off to Korea, okay, as in the military as well. And I think 3 years after coming back, then blacks were given the right to vote. So she was like, so to me, when people say, there's no point in voting or voting don't matter, she's like, but in my family, I could tell you specifically, they couldn't even vote right here. And then it was 3 years after living most of your life, getting drafted, going to war for a country that didn't even you didn't have a right to vote, but you had the right to die for your country. Like, that doesn't make sense. That's a problem. So, I just want to encourage people to get out and vote. And to me, I thought that was an interesting story, because I mean, as far as I know, let me think about it. I think when my mom was of age, I want to say she was able to vote. So, but I only knew my grandmother. I never knew my grandfather on my mom's side. So I don't know what their experience was. But to have that history, I can understand the desire to encourage people.
Yeah, it's important to vote, even if you throw it away like I did last year. You're not going to talk about that.
I ain't finna mess with you.
Don't split the vote, people. But like, if you want to, it's your right. You can do whatever you want
to.
You can. Whatever you want in, split it.
At least you voted. Don't get mad. At least you voted. But I wouldn't advertise it. But that's just me. I don't know. I mean, hey, I feel like I say, get out and vote. Even if you wrote in your uncle, which I don't really get that, because don't enough people know your uncle to get them in a position. That don't make sense.
But now you being silly if you write in your uncle and he not Bernie.
I'm just
you get what I did there? Mm-hmm. I played off of two things.
I'm listening.
Uncle Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Mac.
I got you.
And then Bernie.
You funny. I mean, you know what? Let me say this. You made me think about something. Here's the crazy thing. Because Bernie was nominated, okay, it would be interesting if there were enough people who wrote him in.
I tried that last year. Everybody hated Clinton, everybody hated Trump. Still, nobody wrote in Bernie.
But there were a lot of people who were anti-Bernie too.
Bernie will lead us to a socialist society. That's undeniable.
I don't think so. He would like to try, but you got to
Republicans will. Oh yeah, I forgot about the House. No,
I mean, the House ain't been able to get nothing through that the Senate doesn't already want to do. They can't get nothing done unless the Senate say, okay, we good with that.
Hence our non-stimulus checks.
They left the room. They stopped negotiating. I mean, if you start talking crazy, I'm gonna leave the room too.
Yeah. And let's be honest. With the stimulus checks, we're gonna pay that back anyway. So let's be in less debt, because this country is about how much debt they can put you in so that you owe them for eternity. Hence, student loans. Again, we're gonna say that for another time.
Student loans can be paid off if. See, I'm gonna tell you the problem with
$100,000 in student loans.
Listen, you didn't have to go to that school for $100,000. See, that's a whole nother issue with the education thing.
That's true.
Because people are so stuck on, well, I got to go here. It's the most expensive school, but you get the same skills over here. It just don't cost you $100,000.
You could start 2 years at a community college, and your at least 1 full year will be paid for by the government. So like at least 2 semesters will be paid for by the government. So and then you got 1 year community college, which doesn't cost that much. It's like $4,000.
And look, this is the funny thing to me. If I go to court and I have an attorney who is dogged, who is knowledgeable, who, if they don't know, they know where to go to find out, right? And they get me off. And then some other attorney says, well, and I'm sorry, Harvard and Yale, I went to Harvard, I went to Yale. They should, okay, but I don't even know if you're gonna get me off just because you went to that university. It doesn't make a difference. The issue is, what are you doing with it? Because you may have connections, and that may allow you to get into positions, but because you're in a position, will you actually do the work to help me? And
see, the obstacle, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I mean, in America, we're all about the image. Well, my attorney was from here. My doctor went to Cambridge. But you're studying the same stuff over here at this little small school over here, and it just didn't cost you $100,000.
But if I go to Harvard and I join a fraternity or sorority, and I make a connection with someone who is a descendant of an alumni, and that descendant has connections, when I leave with their connections. So that is part of the reason that people go to elite colleges, and because a person will fill their entire room up with their fraternity and sorority brothers if they could. So that is, I get that to me, that is the biggest reason I have seen people go to those colleges, not just to put that name on their resume, but to build the connection with people that are already built generational wealth.
I get that. But that's also a reason why some of the other colleges that are good colleges don't have the endowments and things. Not that they're not good, but it's because these people, they just go over here because they got the connection. Not that they're not, and that's why we have the whole concept of the elite, when it should really be, the whole purpose of you going to college is not about you regurgitating. It's supposed to be about helping you learn how to think outside of the box. Yeah, you have to learn certain stuff about the box, because if you don't know about the box, then how do you know, or how can you think outside of it? You have to know what the box is in order to think outside of it. And that happens in universities all over the country, whether it's an elite university or a smaller, not well-known school, or an HBCU or whatever. That happen if you have a good set of professors that are a part of your school, then you'll turn out some great people. But that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, that's a good opinion. All right, you got anything else you want to cover?
Nah, I think I'm good.
So I think we said it all. Go vote.
Definitely gotta
if you can work, please work. Chances are you'll have health insurance if you do. That was a nice week I did. I said chances are. I'm sorry. Everybody stay awesome. If you watch this first episode of DeadLock U.S.A, United Explosions. We appreciate it. Stay awesome. And we're going to end this now.